Feckin' traffic lights. Just out for a little 10-minute blast here. I've got myself the DJI Mic Mini, and I had it stuck to the front of the helmet, but it was picking up a lot of wind noise, so I've moved it to like the cheek pad, put the magnet inside the cheek pad, and it just sticks to that no problem at all. So I'm just doing a little run to see what it sounds like. Apart from I've come out at the totally wrong time of day, traffic. And the other reason I come out for a little blast is my tank bag. I've got one of the big SW Motec waterproof ones on the Pro Ring, so you can move it backwards and forwards, where I had it mounted furthest away from me, and I found sometimes, not all the time, on some corners my phone would hit the tank bag. So I've put it the opposite way, so the tank bag's right up against my fat gut. And I'm just seeing what it feels like. I mean, it's not touching us, but once I've checked it to see if my phone hits it and stuff like that, I might move it through forward just a notch or two, you know, try and find the happy medium. And obviously I want to see what this sounds like. And I've adjusted the camera slightly. I found YouTube downscales everything, which is a pain in the arse, you know, when you're recording everything in 4K. You know, you can have it at 4K, 120 frames a second and all that. As soon as you try and put it on YouTube, now it's down to 1080p. So I was reading up on it, and somebody was saying record it in 4K but lower the frame rate. And if you're lucky, when you upload it to YouTube, it might be 2.7K, so you're still getting really good quality, so we shall see. I'm just having a little blast to the coast once I get out here. And the other thing I've been doing for about a week now, it's 2 weeks, two and a bit weeks. The tour starts Bilbao to Amsterdam over 8-9 days riding. Doing all the twisties, zero motorway work. Apart from the 362 mile from my door down to the ferry at Portsmouth. So that will be a motorway day, obviously. But then once we're at the continent, it's all twisties. I think getting out of Bilbao, it's not motorway, but it'll be more major roads getting out of Bilbao. But once you get to sort of like just before Pamplona, it'll start to get a little bit more interesting from there. And then after that, it's all twisties up. First night in Jaca, out of Jaca onto the 260, the N260 roads, up through Sort. Then we'll be turning off the N260 up into Andorra, stopping up in Arinsal. It's a long time ago. I was in Andorra when I was young, when I was a kid. And then from Andorra the next day, yet again twisties, up to, well, I've been saying it wrong obviously for years, so I call it Millau, where the big viaduct is. But I was watching a French reviewer who pronounced it like as a cat, like meow. Apparently that's how the French say it. Whether he was taking the piss, I don't know. Then out of Millau, whatever you want to pronounce it, the next day is across to Chambray, having a night in Chambray, and the next day from Chambray up to Mulhouse. Then Mulhouse, we're dropping back down the French border into Germany, almost on the skirting around the Swiss border, to find the beginning of the B500. I mean, I know the B500 has been allegedly spoilt by all the speed restrictions, but I'm in no hurry. I'd rather go for the scenery and the views. So it's the B500 up to Baden-Baden, having a night in Baden-Baden. Then next day out of Baden-Baden, all twisties again, up to Trier, which, I mean, I picked Trier because it was on some interesting roads. But also, when I read up, and it was a little bit of history about it, that's where, you know, the new Socialist Party and their brown shirts started. So there's a little bit of history around there. And I also read up that I don't think there's anything to go and see now. But after Dunkirk, you know, when the rear guard stayed back, so everybody could try and get on the little boats to get back to England, there was obviously thousands and thousands of British, Commonwealth, French troops all got captured as prisoners of war. And apparently Trier was the biggest POW camp in the Second World War. But it was like a hub, you know. People were all brought there and then they were moved off to all the other prison camps. But I've had a bit dig around the internet and I can't find any information to say if there's any landmarks left or anything like that. I was just about to get rid of this van, but there's a bloody car coming. And then from Trier, it's up to Arnhem the next day. I picked Arnhem because it's bang on about 100 miles from the ferry at Amsterdam. And obviously Arnhem. Got to go and stand on the bridge with my brolly. Somebody will get that reference, some people won't. And then from Arnhem the next day, obviously that day we don't have to be up early because the ferry back to the UK, to Newcastle, isn't until, you know, like tea time, 5-6 o'clock, something like that. So I think I'll get up that morning and probably, I mean, the hotel I've picked is right next to the Frost Bridge. I mean, obviously a lot of the old buildings, they're all gone, they've all been destroyed. But apparently, I'll have a little look around. Obviously, the Airborne Museum's on the opposite corner from the hotel. Have a little look around there. Obviously, all from Operation Market Garden. And then from there, I said it's 100 mile. I mean, you could do it much, much quicker if you want to do. If you were the sort of sad twat who sat on motorways all day. Which, during the day for work, I spend an awful lot of time on dual carriageway roads, A19, A1, up and down them most days. So when I can, I obviously just totally avoid major roads because it takes no brains. We're on the coast now. But it is a hot day, 22 degrees. Which up north, that's classed as a warm day. And the other thing, then I got my biking kilometres. I mean, we all know, back in the day when you had to do tests, we all knew we used to say 50 was 30 mile an hour. It's actually 52. But I've put my bike in kilometres just to get used to it. So when I'm riding across Europe, and they've got the signs for any traffic cameras, obviously I'll be sticking to the speed limits everywhere I go. I always do. I know it's 2 weeks ago, but I'm already sorting crap out. I'm trying to go minimal. I mean, on this NT 1100, I've got the full Voyager kit on it, so it's got, the big top box and everything. But if I can, what I'm going to do is I'm not taking the top box. Because I think the more luggage you've got, the more crap you want to throw in. So it's going to be the two hard cases on the side. One side I've managed to get everything I need for, like Cool Max type of stuff for riding in under me bike gear, and all me stuff for an evening. I mean, I'm only taking one pair of trainers, Nike Rifts, don't need socks for them. I'm thinking, man. So I've only got socks for riding in, which are all Merano wool. Then loads of box shorts. I've discovered that bamboo silk type stuff. Excellent boxer shorts. Really light and airy, and for the men in the world, they'll know what a little bit of chafing is when you're on a bike all day. Gets rid of that. 2 pair of cargo shorts and 4 t-shirts. That's all I'm taking. Minimal toiletries. I'm taking my own shampoo because I find the stuff in hotels is, like industrial cleaner. But I'll use the shower gel, to wash with and all that sort of stuff. And just use my own shampoo, a little toothbrush, bit of toothpaste, and a mouthwash. Going very light. And then the other pannier, it'll have some other stuff in, like a first aid kit, a couple of locks, couple of USB conversion socket things, so I can charge all my stuff up in the hotels. And that's all that's going in there. So what I'm going to do is I've got a little one of the Oxford Atlas backpacks, the 20 litre one. So that's going to actually be me grab bag for the ferry, with a little bag in with, like a t-shirt, pair of shorts, a couple of pair of underpants, stuff like that for the ferry. There's going to be ample space in the pannier just to shove that in for the ride down to Pompey. And then once we get away, I can take that bag, fill the Camelback up, because I've put a Camelback in it, with water. and put the clothes that I had on the ferry in the pannier. So my backpack will literally be just for, you know, fluid on the go. And then, because you never know what the weather's going to be like, I have got the Oxford Pro Seal rain stuff, you know, like the top and bottoms, which is brilliant. And I do use it when, you know, if you think you're going to be riding all day in the rain, but it's a nightmare to pull on and off over the top of your other gear. So what I've decided I'm going to do is, obviously we're not going to see any rain whatsoever. I mean, I've got my old Oxford mesh jacket on today, not Oxford, should I say Merlin. And I've got the newer, is it Merlin Prospect, and the mesh trousers to go with it, which are fantastic in the heat, but get caught in the rain, you're knackered. So I've also got the, I use them all the time for the winter here. I've got the Oxford Storm, I can't remember what it's called now, Stormland, that's it. Stormland laminated trousers, and I've got the Stormland, the new jacket, which you look at it compared to, you know, like the big brands, like your Ruckers and Klim, and to me it looks, yeah, just as good, and no water's ever got through it. So I've took the lining out, so I've took the thermal linings out of both of them, and I've got I've got a few bits of the Atlas gear. I've got one of the 30 litre tail bags, which isn't big, it's not that big, and I've managed to squeeze both of the Oxford Stormland trousers and jacket into that. So depending on the weather, I can just, on a morning, check the weather radar, no chance of rain, wear my mesh suit. If it looks like there's going to be some showers, some heavy thunderstorms or anything like that, I can just wear my other suit and put the other one in the bag. Because invariably when you get slightly damp and you try and pull on one of those boil in the bag suits, it's a nightmare. It'll be quicker to strip down to my underpants, a sight for sore eyes I know, and just change into the other gear. That'll be actually quicker than trying to get that waterproof gear on. And the other thing I'm testing is, obviously I like to have a bit of music on when I'm riding through my cardo. I found a little company. They do major, I think they do it for HJC helmets, RI, and I think Shoei at the moment. If your helmet has, you know, where they've all like partnered with different companies like Cardo, Senna and stuff like that, to do their own integrated comms, where I like the Cardo, because I've got a couple of helmets and I've got, you know, like extra helmet kits, so I'll just unclip the unit and clip it onto another helmet. Where on my other HJC I've got like a cheaper one for work. They don't do a conversion, it basically uses the sticky Cardo gear and stick it to the side of your lid. Where this one I've got on is the carbon fibre HJC Rafa 91. Where I did use the sticky kit, but it would seem to be like further round on the left hand side of my neck. Because on this helmet it's got dedicated for, I think it's Senna that HJC are with, like little bits of plastic on the bottom of the helmet and the side that you can clip out and put the Senna unit in. I found a guy online saying you had to get his unit for major brands, not every single helmet but most of the major ones. You pop off that plastic bit and he's done like a Cardo mount, so it pushes in, so it's much closer to the left hand cheek now. Much better situation. I'm not like trying to find it with my fingers, particularly if I'm wearing like thick winter gloves. Anyway, I'm getting down the seafront now. I shall pause you for now, and I'll check the video quality later. Cheers, catch you in a bit.